What's poppin', beautiful people in YouTube land? I put the 3 and G value, feel me? In this vid right here, son, this is gonna be funny, I already know. The NBA's forgotten conspiracy, Thon Maker's dark secret. Now I already know what this is gonna be talking about. I mean, off rip, cause you can see 14-year-old or whatever the case may be. But I remember back in the day, they was talking about how Thon Maker was like older than what he was. And I mean, history showed us like a lot of times a lot of people got through with that, like, you know, people from other countries, they patent their age or whatever, give them a new like birth certificate or whatever the case may be, or like passport. But yeah, people forgot about this. I mean, granted, because I mean, he's not making no noise in the NBA, so that's probably one of the reasons. But if it is true, like, that's OD. So but without further, let's check it out. My son Mike is about to go through with the info and all that.
On December 15th, 2011, the world was introduced to 8th grader Thon Maker in this mixtape, and people went crazy. Who
That nigga was not 8th grade at that time, bro.
was this giant who was scoring at will, blocking shots with
That nigga at
ease
least
and
16
knocking
there.
down jumpers? When people saw these highlights, they believed they were watching the second
I mean, then
coming of
again,
the man, and who could blame them?
I mean, then again, it'd be some freakishly large 8th graders that be looking grown as shit. So
An 8th grader with this skill level and this height almost seemed too good to be true, which, as it turns out over 9 years later, might have been the case. Because fast forward to the 2016 draft, and now 19-year-old Thon Maker has emerged as a big-time NBA draft prospect, only there's one problem. As Jake Fisher pointed out on Twitter, several teams have entirely ruled Thon
21
Maker
through
out of the first
23,
round
that's
due
OD.
to his age. Multiple sources believe
that's a big difference. Around that time, if he wasn't 19, in fact, if he was like 23, bro, that's a huge difference, bro.
Maker to be 21 to 23,
Nigga, man strength is
not
all the way there.
19. This was strange, and at the time, the NBA community went absolutely crazy. Yearbooks were dug up, accusations were made, and it became apparent that there might be something to this. Thon Maker might have lied about his age in a big way, and as more and more information came out, people only got more and more confused. But the thing is, after the draft was over, all of the controversy surrounding Thon's age seemingly went away overnight, which to me is strange, because I want answers here.
That's a fact, me
is
too.
Thon Maker lying about his age, and if he is, just how old is he? So what's up, guys? Mike here, and I am hyped
That nigga
because
30.
I'm back with another
Nah, I'm just playing, I don't know.
conspiracy, and I've got to say quickly, if you support the channel, if you support what we're doing here, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Hitting 2 million subscribes so because as you can see in this clip right here, when the actual 2016 draft took place, Thon was actually asked about his age, and let's just listen to what he has to say.
Now we got to ask you about some of the stories we heard today about your age and the questions about whether you're 19 or how old you are. What is your response to some of these allegations?
I didn't have a response for it because I know it's not true, and if it were true, it would have made me angry. I know it's not true, and obviously that's why. Obviously it's not true. That's why it didn't get to me.
How old are you?
Bro, this nigga, what was that? Bro, son, like, you so like, you really think he gonna tell everybody that he old? Like, bro, he got conditioned ever since they already did a little switcheroo with the age. He already got conditioned to be like, yo, you was born in da-da-da, like you're 19.
It certainly seemed a little suspicious, right? It certainly felt like he was stumbling with his words a little. With this in mind though, I'm sure you're wondering, why was Thon asked this question? And the answer to that comes in the form of Jake Fisher's tweet and several threads on Reddit.
That nigga
Because in
Aki.
this thread in which Jake Fisher's tweet was
And
posted,
again, that doesn't give no speculation that like he'll be older than what he was at that time, but he is Aki.
Reddit user Big Credit responded with, surprised that this has taken so long to come out. I live in the same city in Australia that Maker migrated to, Perth, and one of my friends showed me his older sister's graduation book, which Maker is pictured in, and she graduated in 2010/2011. We'll add the photo now. Here is the photo he is referencing, a yearbook photo from a school in Australia. And saving us some time here, later a better photo of this same yearbook was uploaded that has...
That's funny because if that's him, he looked way younger than that 2010 8th grade picture. That's funny.
The graduating
Video,
class
I
of
mean.
2010 in the top left corner. This would of course mean
2010. That means they graduated same time I did, bro. That nigga, he 29. Like I said, he almost 30, bro. Fuck out of here.
already graduated high school in 2010 in Australia, not from a prep school in 2016 in
This
Canada.
nigga old.
That is of course a huge accusation, and of course there is a pretty crazy story attached to this, because as the story goes, a talent scout named Edward Smith discovered Thon around the time of his first graduation. Smith apparently had a history of working with Sudanese players, and he had a shady reputation when it came to doctoring players' ages. It actually has been said that Smith is and was able to get fake birth certificates made for Sudanese players, as in many cases like with Thon, many if not most Sudanese basketball players were refugees, and
Bro, that's a
their
grown man
exact
right
birth
there.
records were hard to track down, which meant that if a person wanted to fake their birth records, it was certainly.
But like I said, bro, that doesn't have no indentation, bro. Especially like Africans, bro. Like, you know what I mean? African. I got a lot of my friends African, bro. Their genetics is just stupid, like fire. You feel me? So like, he could be 19 there.
And if this seems crazy to you, well, yes, it is, but it is certainly not unheard of. In fact, in Canada, the same place Thon played, a 30-year-old man who was originally born in Sudan.
Oh, I remember this. He clearly is 30, bro. That nigga look 30, bro. He got a receding hairline. His shit look like Vegeta right now, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, look at this shit, bro. See, Thon Maker, on the other hand, it's like, all right, he can get away with it. You feel me? This nigga right here, nah. It was no way of getting away with it. This even bringing back the, what was it, like last year or 2 years ago when there was, like a 25-year-old that was in high school? Bro, that son... See, these niggas, you could tell they just going to school and they just, you know, feel me, like they just trying to like have hoop dreams, feel me, go to school, work on their craft, whatever. That nigga that was 25, that went back to school, bro, he had a full-blown girlfriend, he was going to parties and shit, like, he just was trying to relive his childhood at that point, like, that's OD.
Was arrested for
That's
faking
OD.
his age and posing as a 17-year-old
I mean, all of this is
high
OD.
school student
Every
back
story.
in, coincidentally, 2016. In this case, Jonathan Nicola was the star of his high school's basketball team and getting interest from colleges, but was caught posing as a 17-year-old high school student before he graduated. Again, he was a 30-year-old man here. It's
so
no
OD.
surprise he got caught, but what if someone were
Nigga faked 12 years of his life, bro. How did you think? See, the Thon Maker shit situation is like, all right, 4 years is crazy though. That's OD. 4 years is OD still too, but 10 composed to 4, it's like, all right.
do a better job, cough, Thon Maker, cough, and was not caught. Well, in that case, you'd have
And is that the same dude that's doing it for him?
14-year-old emerge as an 8th grade mixtape legend when he very well could have
Was
been
like
already
18.
around 18 or 19 years old.
That's
this
wild.
would mean, of course, that by the time Thon would enter the 2016 draft, he would already be around 23 years old, and now
Full-blown
let's look at
grown
more
man.
proof here of the possibility that this is actually real, because I understand all of this does seem ridiculous, but let's look right here. Here is
That's funny because he younger than Giannis and Giannis came in the league before him. If that's the case, bro, that's OD.
2007 yearbook that states that Thon was in the 9th grade at the same school, which means again, in
That was 07?
2010,
He would have been 18.
Moving on here, while the pictures I showed you had the last names of people crossed out, the original yearbook photos that were released to Reddit did not have those last names crossed out, and so Reddit user 10k_words claims that he was able to see the last names of a few of the girls in that yearbook, and that the Bianca we saw in the yearbook started college in 2010. The Susan we saw was 20 years old in 2013, and that Kareen had her age listed as 23 in 2016.
That makes
All
sense.
This would again indicate that if Thon graduated with these 3 girls, he
He would be
not have been 19
23.
years old when the 2016 draft took place, and instead he would have been around the age of 23. That
In
is
fact, he
a
would have been
huge
24
difference,
because I
and
was
wrapping up with
2016, I was
potential
24.
evidence
So
here, there are
yeah,
tons and
he-
tons of people who claim that they also lived in Australia around the time that Thon graduated in 2010. Trust me when I emphasize the word tons. If you Google this topic yourself, you are going to find several comments just like these 4. And the thing is, these comments were nothing new. When Thon's original 8th grade mixtape came out, there were people already commenting that Thon had graduated from high school in 2010 in Australia.
That's
The only
OD.
difference was that at that point, Thon was not an NBA draft prospect, so nobody really paid attention to those comments. And when we think about the overwhelming amount of people who have commented about Thon's age, who have said said that they've seen his yearbook, we have to think, why would so many people randomly lie about all
They ain't
this?
lying.
I don't know what anyone would have to gain by pretending to be an Australian who saw Thon, but I do know why Thon would lie, because the potential rewards and benefits for lying were and are enormous. At the time of his supposed first graduation in Australia, Thon was a complete nothing as a basketball recruit. He had no future, he wasn't even going to play college basketball, let alone make it to the NBA, but if someone were to cheat the system and somehow find a way to make Thon an 8th grader again, well,
That's
Thon
wild,
would be
bro. I mean, that nigga done lived his life over. He restarted his high school career. That's crazy, bro.
as one of the top prospects in the nation. I mean, at the end of the day, the man has made NBA money. Again, the rewards for him lying are just obvious. Now, as for another question you guys might have, why revisit this conspiracy theory? Why take a look at it now? Well, we're going to jump into that in a second, because I do want to point out that yes, there was supposed evidence against this theory presented in the form of this passport, which to some gave proof that Thon was telling the truth. And maybe it does.
Bruh.
This passport, which to some
You could fake a passport, bro. You could fake a passport. 97, like nah, more like 92, nigga. Fuck out of here.
And maybe it does. This is just a conspiracy theory. However, if you believe in this conspiracy, if you believe that Thon has been lying about his age all along, then you would simply believe that this passport is incorrect. The reason being that that's a giant part of this whole story, that Edmund Smith secured Thon some type of fake documentation that was ordered to get Thon a new passport, which in turn changed Thon's age and changed Thon's life. Continuing on though, I
wonder how much PC he getting though if he did follow through with that, because it's like he had to see him somewhere like in a playground or something, like, yo, how old are you? But I'm 18. No, my man, you're 13 now. Like, what? Like, how do you come to somebody like that? How do you come to somebody and be like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get you a fake passport. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna put you in Australia right now. I'm gonna put you over in the States. They ain't gonna worry about it. Just keep going with the flow. You feel me? He got to see that bag right now, because if this is true, my son's seeing at least 20% of his revenue right
do
now.
want to talk about why I'm bringing up this theory again years later. Now, the biggest reason I feel we need to revisit things here is the hype that Thon Maker received early on in his NBA career, and
Oh yeah, he was getting
subsequently the
praise.
complete lack of success.
They was calling him the
he has
next
had
KG
after.
and all
Now,
that.
I know what you're thinking already, Mike. You yourself.
I ain't gonna hold you. I was
hyped
falling in the
Thon,
hype a
which
little
I
bit.
did. I never said he'd be an MVP. In my video, you can clearly see the title of the video is that Thon Maker
That's
said
a grown
he'd be
man.
the MVP one day, but I did believe there was a chance that Thon could develop into an all-star type player. The thing is though, at this point in time, a lot of people were hyping up Thon. That is honestly why I started to believe. In fact, NBA Hall of Famer Kevin Garnett said this, quote, "Thon Maker reminds me a lot of myself. Thon is going to be the MVP of the league one day. Mark it down."
That's
He has
Kevin
the
Garnett
bones,
saying
he
that.
has the appetite to be able to chase something like that. That is a crazy statement looking back from Kevin Garnett. And then in this Bleacher Report article titled "Thon Maker is the Bucks' secret unicorn," Giannis was quoted as saying this about Thon: "I see some similarities and one big difference. He's a lot better player than me at the same
That's because
stage."
he's
Those are
older than you
absolutely
at that same
crazy
stage.
statements looking back
'Cause at
from him.
23,
And if you
you're
just go
wildin'.
back and read that Bleacher Report article, I'll
23,
link it down
he's-
below if you're interested, you'll be in shock of just how confident everyone seems.
So
in
that's
Thon. The
NBA,
Bucks
bro. He a grown man.
basically
That's a
put him
grown
in the
man
same
strength
type
right
of
there, bro.
workout and
I'm sorry.
nutritional routine as Giannis, and they were hopeful that Thon's routine would produce similar results, or at least produce a starter level player, as I cannot stress enough just how much effort the Bucks originally put into Thon's player development. Despite all of the belief that people supposedly had in Thon, things did not work out, which led to Milwaukee giving up on Thon in just his 3rd season. Fast forward to year 5, Thon is
Anyway,
averaging
year
9.6
5?
minutes per game for the Cavaliers
Oh, yeah, it's
this
over.
season, and we have to state the obvious here. Thon is not a future all-star. Thon is not a future
Yeah.
MVP. He is just a completely average basketball player. In fact, if you want to call him a bust, go ahead.
Not a
and do so.
bust.
Now,
I
what
wouldn't go that
exactly
far,
went
but
wrong
he's
here?
just
Well, we
a
have to come full circle
very
here,
average
right?
player.
Because with the previous suspicions placed on Thon's age headed into the draft, in 2021, doesn't Thon's complete lack of development just give us another piece of possible evidence that he was lying? I mean, wouldn't it make perfect
He would
sense
be a
that
lot
the
better.
Bucks' plan
Well,
in place
then
to
again,
develop Thon did not work because he was not 19, but instead he was much older than they thought he was?
I would agree on that, but then again, you gotta realize, like, just some niggas don't make it to the next level. They just not that good as they would be portrayed in the other levels. But then again, that would make sense, because if he was in fact 23 and not 19, like working on his body, like he probably would just that's just where he would be at. Even though he probably could get bigger if he wanted to, but if you look at Giannis, it's night and day. 19-year-old Giannis compared to 23-year-old Giannis, like he a grown man. We seen him grow up. But I'm trying to say, like, Thon Maker, he looked the same.
However, based on everything we just talked about,
From like when he came in, that's how he looked. He still looks like that.
Has been a pretty bad basketball player.
He even looked more back in the day than he looked now.
Than he's been letting on, and now I want to know what you guys think. So make sure to comment down below. Do you think Thon Maker's been lying about his?
I think he lying.
Do you think there's any credibility to this conspiracy theory? Because if it is true, I mean, this is absolutely insane. With that said, thank you for.
Yeah, I think he lying, bro. I mean, at this point, it's like, nigga, that's 5 years. Do you arrest him at this point? Like let's just say he go through his whole career. Let's just say he played 10 years. Let's say he played 10 years in NBA, bro. He retired like 35 or whatever the case may be, right? Like, and then the speculations come out. Do you arrest him at that point? Like, it's like, what do you do in that? Like, we already done like almost 15 years of his life. He was just lying. So I don't know. That'd be crazy. That'd be wild. Like, this story in a whole is just crazy, bro. I'm just thinking about that dude that was 25 that went back to school, lived his best life. Nigga redid his high school. Nigga was probably getting everybody liquor. Like, yo, nigga, don't make it hot, but yo, boy, I'm like 25. Like, what? Get the liquor, we lit. That's OD. And that other nigga, forget about it, bro. That other dude, bro, he looked 30, bro. At least the other two, Thon Maker and the other dude, they looked like they could pass for 20. That nigga looked 30, bro. But it's your boy G. I'm up out of here. Peace.